Is another weather impact alert day. ABC 10's Candace Red at Pollock Pines with a look at all the snow that's piled up behind her and still coming down.
And before we get to Candace, let's go to Rob now for a look at your forecast. So Rob, what's the timing for today's rain and snow?
The timing is a little bit more all over the place because, yesterday what we had was the first day of the storm. And when you have that, you typically have the early light stuff, which is not usually a big deal, but it's sort of a tease. And then you have the cold front, the moment where it all comes together, heavy rain, wind, and snow. And you can really time that out. Yesterday I said between 2 and 7, and it happened between 2 and 7. So today's a little bit more suspect just because we're right in the middle of it. And what we have is a lot of changeable conditions, spotty on and off. We call these convective showers. I mentioned this earlier, but if you're just watching for the first time, it's like trying to predict in a pot of boiling water exactly where these bubbles are going to pop up. You know what's going to happen, but exactly when and where it becomes a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. And I should tell you that today we know the snow level is going to be much lower than what we had yesterday. That's why we've got Candace at Pollock Pines versus, say, Kingvale higher up the hill. We've got cold conditions today, and we will see rain heavy at times. What we will not have today, and this is a good thing, is we will not have very strong winds. It'll be gusty at times, but we're not looking at widespread 45 to 50 mile per hour winds, which is what we saw yesterday during that peak period of the storm. This is what I'm talking about. This almost looks like a pot of boiling water, right? You can see pop-up showers here and there. Some of those really get mature and just dump rain, but only for 10 to 15 minutes, and then they move along. So it's all about planning for this, knowing that at times it's going to slow down and stop. In the mountains, we've got something that's more consistent. Why? The moisture is just moving through, and it's going to do its thing in the lower elevation spots. But once it hits the mountains, it really does wring out any amount of moisture, and that's going to be in the way of snow once you get to 3,000 feet and up. So to talk more about the snow situation, let's go ahead and talk to Candace Red. Candace, you've had a nice little drive up to Pollock Pines early this morning. I have to say, your photographer has the perfect shot of you. The parking lot, the tree looks absolutely great. And then, of course, the shopping cart covered with snow. So tell people your experience getting up there and what the rest of the day looks like.
Rob, good morning to you. Yes, definitely a winter wonderland. Again, we're coming to you live from Pollock Pines in El Dorado County, giving you a look right behind me now. Just about an hour ago when we spoke, there was snowfall. Now that's no longer the case. It seems to be on and off again, but you know what, if the snow doesn't get you, the cold and the wind certainly will. We're seeing snow at lower elevations. The National Weather Service issued a winter storm warning for the West Slope, Northern Sierra Nevada County. Now it will remain in effect until 11 o'clock tonight. Heavy snow is expected with possible accumulations of 8 to 12 inches, and last night we spoke with a Pollock Pines resident who's welcoming the snow. Take a listen.
We need the water, we need the snow back on the mountains, and for us, for fire danger up here, that's a pretty important thing. Keep the ground wet as long as possible, get that moisture in the ground, and yeah, this is a good thing.
Now, there's also a possibility of winds gusting as high as 45 miles per hour. The strong winds could blow down tree limbs and toss around debris, so keep that in mind. Of course, driving is not encouraged. It could be nearly impossible really to get around safely because of the snowy and icy roads. The dangerous road conditions could also impact commutes through tomorrow night. But if you do plan on driving, just know that chains are required on all vehicles except four-wheel drive with snow tires, and that's now from Placerville to Myers. Keep in mind, chain control locations are constantly changing. I did want to share, since Rob did ask about our drive from Sacramento to Pollock Pines, we didn't have any troubles. We did first run into some rain, and then that's when we hit the snow. But again, the roads are slippery, slick, wet, snowy, all the above to create a dangerous situation. So again, if you do plan on hitting the road, you really want to take it slow, and that's exactly what we were doing in Pollock Pines. Candace Red, ABC 10.
Yeah, Candace, I guess you're at the Safeway location, judging by the focus on the shopping cart behind you there. So
Yes.
just so people know where you are, or did that shopping cart
Yes.
do all the plowing of that driveway?
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, definitely the Safeway parking lot.
Yeah, it's a great location. It's open 24 hours, so anytime we're up there live, it's a good spot for us, too. So you get a bite to eat and restroom facilities. All right, all that said, Candace Red, thank you. She's